Brian Clough is regarded as one of the greatest managers in the history of football. He took a second division Derby team to their first top flight title in 1972 and later won Nottingham Forest 4 League Cups, a first division title and 2 European Cups. Alongside these was an ill-fated 44-day spell in charge of Leeds, brought to life in the film The Damned United. But two lesser-known aspects of Clough's career are his respective spells in charge of Hartlepools, now known as Hartlepool United, and Brighton and Hove Albion. Whilst his spells at these clubs do not match his other successes, they still form a part of his story and helped him make the manager that he became. This is the story of Hartlepools and Brighton, Brian Clough's lesser-known jobs. Brian Clough had a phenomenal playing career, scoring 267 goals in 296 games for Middlesbrough and Sunderland. His career was sadly cut short, however, at the age of 29 due to a cruciate ligament injury. Clough spent time in charge of the Sunderland youth team before being offered the job at Hartlepools United at the age of only 30. One of his first actions in charge was to appoint former teammate Peter Taylor as his assistant. The club were in disarray. They were struggling financially in the 4th division of English football and had applied for re-election to the Football League several times in the previous years due to dire league finishes. Clough went out of his way to change things at the club. He applied for a coach driver's licence so that he could drive the team to away matches, painted the club's rundown stadium himself, and would go around local pubs and social clubs to help raise funds for the club. Clough and Taylor would also regularly attend amateur games across the county, offering young players pathways into his team, saving the club costs of recruitment. One of the players that they recruited was 16-year-old John McGovern, who would go on to become one of Clough's biggest disciples. Hartlepools ended their first season in 18th place. Whilst it wasn't a great position in itself, it was an improvement for the Pools and gave the team something to build on. Fortunes improved the next season for the Pools, but not without difficulty. Clough had a poor relationship with the chairman, something that would be a theme throughout his career. Pools chairman Ernest Ord sacked Peter Taylor in November 1966 and told Clough it was because he couldn't afford to pay him anymore. Clough was also sacked when he refused to accept the dismissal of Taylor. This, however, led to tension upstairs, with the boardroom refusing to ratify Ord's decision, and Ord was soon ousted as chairman, with Clough and Taylor quickly reinstated into their respective roles. The season ended with an 8th place finish for the Pools, which was an enormous improvement on the season before. However, in May 1967, Clough and Taylor left the club to join Derby County. They had been recommended to Derby chairman Sam Longson by then Shackleton, and leapt at the opportunity to guide the Rams to promotion to the First Division. The following season, Hartlepools were promoted to Division 3, the first promotion in their entire history. Whilst Clough and Taylor did not oversee the promotion themselves, it is widely agreed that this promotion would not have been possible without their efforts. Clough's time in charge set his career on the way, as he proved by giving everything to a club, he could turn their fortunes around and help them achieve the impossible. Clough and Taylor's time at Derby ended acrimoniously. The pair were involved in a bitter dispute with chairman Sam Longson, despite winning the club their maiden First Division title in 1972 and taking the Rams to a European Cup semi-final the next season. Clough and Taylor offered their resignations, hoping that doing so would force the board to oust Sam Longson like they did with Ernest Ord. However, this did not work, and their resignations were accepted, and despite brief possibilities of a player boycott, the club appointed Dave Mackay, a player that Clough had signed for the Rams, as manager. Clough's next job was one out of left field. He and Taylor took charge of 3rd Division side Brighton and Hove Albion. £25,000 was to be paid to Clough and Taylor and split between them, which was more than they were earning in the First Division with Derby. Chairman Mike Bamber felt he had found the men to help take Brighton to the First Division. Things, however, did not start well for Clough. He only won one of his first 10 games, and also lost 4-0 to non-league side Walton and Hersham in the first round of the FA Cup. And Clough went on ITV show The Big Match, openly criticising his players, whilst the footage of the game was played. Clough's behaviour was also erratic and out of character for a man normally so dedicated to success. He appointed Norman Gall as captain, due to him being the only North-Easterner in the squad, lived in a hotel, and even missed a match to watch Muhammad Ali fight Joe Frazier. Despite claiming otherwise in his autobiography, it appeared Clough was treating this job as a stopgap until a better job came along. Fortunes improved for Brighton as they defeated Plymouth Argyle 1-0, and in their next 12 games, they only lost once. It seemed like they could well achieve a comfortable top-half finish, but this was derailed by a loss to Shrewsbury. Clough was soon to leave the South Coast behind when Leeds offered him the job after Don Revie left to manage England. Taylor declined the opportunity to join Clough in Yorkshire, deciding to take the managerial job at Brighton himself, and guided the team to a 4th place finish the next season. Clough described Mike Bamber as the best chairman he had ever worked with, and he maintained that he could have achieved everything that he did with Nottingham Forest with Brighton themselves. Clough had taken the job at Leeds because he felt it was the best job in the country, but only lasted 44 days, with his career now in tatters. However, in 1975, he and Taylor joined forces again at Nottingham Forest, and the rest is history. What Clough achieved at Derby and Nottingham Forest will forever be shrined in legend. His infamous spell at Leeds may be a taint on his reputation, but his ability to recover from this setback shows what kind of manager he was. Clough's spells at Hartlepools and Brighton may always be glossed over when examining his managerial achievements, but his spell at Hartlepools provided him with the opportunity to begin his managerial career and establish what kind of manager he would become. Whilst his spell at Brighton lacked success, it clearly taught him a lot about management and brought him success at Nottingham Forest later on. These spells are often forgotten about, but they are important parts of Clough's career, as he may not have been the manager he was without these lessons, and it proves that sometimes, to appreciate the sunshine, you must first walk through the rain.